We are all connected through shared experiences, and while our circumstances may vary, there is almost always a common thread in our stories. I am Amy Seaman, and these are the stories that connect us.
Oh, hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of A Common Thread podcast. I'm your host, Amy Seaman, and today I have with me Allie Mann. Mann, right?
Yes.
I actually thought about that as I was saying. I was like, I don't know that I've confirmed your last name.
Mann.
Well, Allie owns Moonlight Cannabis. And
yes.
We met at what's called Legacy Cup, which I would define as like the state fair for the cannabis industry. Is that correct?
Yes. It keeps getting bigger every year.
Yes.
Too. Yeah.
I was starting conversations in a partnership with a different cannabis company that was there. And so they invited me. My husband dropped me off. I walked around by myself the whole time, just like sampling. I mean, it was a great day. I loved it. I was talking to so many people, and I came across your booth, and we were immediately talking, and I mentioned the podcast, and then fast forward. Is that last summer? So it's probably been almost a year.
Yeah, the next one's coming up, end of September. So
and then I'd been following you, and then I randomly reached out, and I was like, let's get together and chat. And we had lunch, and you are my kind of people. And we could have sat there for hours.
We knew right away.
Yes. We're like, okay, this fits. So anyway, welcome to the pod. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
I love to dabble in all the things. And so I wanted to, this is an area where I'm just I want to normalize the conversation. I also have lots of questions. So this is going to be part educational, part fun, part silly.
All the things.
We'll just see where it takes us. But to start... tell me what you brought me. This is a little moonshot.
So that's moonshot. It's got 10 milligrams of THC.
I'm gonna take some of it.
So, yeah, if that's your dose, take it all. But
I do 10 milligrams at home. If I'm just gonna hang out at the house.
Yeah. That's good. 10. You have a bigger tolerance.
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It also has 10 milligrams of CBG, which is non-psychoactive, but brain activator. Uplifting. Thanks. Yeah.
Wild cherry.
No added sugar.
And it also, it's not like a cough syrupy wild cherry flavor.
No.
Sometimes.
I know. Because when we sample that, half the people are always terrified of cherry.
It's like a dum-dum. It tastes like a dum-dum. Like a wild cherry dum-dum.
Or like a cherry popsicle from when you were little. Cherry Kool-Aid. I love cherry. So
okay, I did half. Do you want the other half?
Sure. Yeah,
I don't have any...
I'm not worried.
Any illnesses right now?
No, it's all right. I mean, I have two
breakouts.
Like you, I have 2 boys, so
yeah,
the germs are everywhere.
This is how you
all
build
the time.
your immune system. As you
exactly.
share drinks with friends. So, okay, talk about the shot versus a seltzer.
Why we chose to do a shot versus a seltzer,
and how does it impact you if you just do the shot? Is it kind of like a shot of liquor? It's going to hit you faster than if you were to be sipping on a seltzer?
I don't think it'll hit you faster because they're both liquid based, and that's the thing. This is more concentrated.
Okay.
So it's just more.
Okay.
It's quicker to drink, so it'll hit you faster if you drink it faster, essentially. But we chose to do a shot because there are so many THC drink brands out there. I mean, they're all great brands, amazing drinks, so many amazing products, but we just didn't want to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And we're very much a gummy company. That's how we started. That's how we found our footing. And getting into the beverage space is expensive, and you need more space, warehouse space, and it's you're moving into things what are they called? Pallets and deliveries and overhead doors and all those things. And we were should we invest in all that or should we not? Because the shots are just small and easier to ship, produce.
They're in your purse.
Yeah. I mean, and they're glass, so they're not super cheap to ship, but I don't know. It was just a way for us to dip our toe into beverage and see how it's going. So they're great. They've been received pretty well. People love them. It's just about putting them in the right place.
Yeah.
Because they should be in a liquor store, right? But the liquor stores are heavy on the seltzers and the spirits and things like that. So we're just kind of finding our footing. And
I feel I've seen, I know there's a couple other brands that have done the shots, and I feel I've seen them at the cash wrap at the liquor store.
Yes.
Right? As you're checking out, you're I'll have one of these.
It's perfect. Yeah. Right?
Throw it in my purse.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How did you get into, well, first of all, I have a couple questions so that I can speak
Okay.
correctly to this throughout
Okay.
the podcast.
Okay.
What is the difference between marijuana, weed, cannabis, THC, Delta 9? Are they all one and the same and we use them interchangeably, or like how?
Okay, this is a good question. It's the question, right?
Oh.
Because it's super confusing. And to be honest, when we first got into this industry, I didn't know what any of that meant either. So there's one plant, the cannabis plant.
Okay, so cannabis is the
Cannabis is the name of the plant.
Okay.
Years and years ago, I don't know exactly when, but I think it was in like the 70s or 80s, the government wanted to slow down, like refine the use of cannabis. So any cannabis plant that's tested and has less than 0.3% THC is considered hemp.
Okay.
And if it tests higher than 0.3 THC, it's considered marijuana.
Okay.
So
is THC what is derived from a cannabis plant?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can derive THC from a marijuana type of cannabis plant or a hemp type of cannabis plant.
Okay.
Hemp and marijuana, like that number, the 0.3%, is just an arbitrary number that the
Okay.
government came up with. So originally, like honestly, like the hemp-derived THC was like skirting, right? It was like a loophole.
Is that like the Delta 9?
Yes,
That's what
Delta
started coming
9.
out in Minnesota?
Delta 9 is another word for hemp-derived THC.
Okay.
And it's the same, right?
Yeah.
THC you get from marijuana or THC you get from hemp is the same THC. Like under a lab, you can't tell the difference. However, with the hemp plants, it's considered low dose, right? So it's a little bit milder THC. It's a little bit, it's more of a process to extract it. But while doing that, they can also extract other cannabinoids such as CBD, right? THC is one of 110 cannabinoids in the plant.
Okay.
There's all these other cannabinoids. So THC is the one that gets you high, obviously. But everybody knows what CBD is, right? Doesn't get you high. It's more for like inflammation. You can make it topical, things like that.
I love topical CBD, by the way.
Oh,
I have
it's
a terrible
incredible.
back,
It's incredible.
and I really love it.
Yeah, we're working on a product.
Oh,
For that,
okay, good. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. But that's the big difference, right?
Okay.
Because people get really confused, and it is so confusing. And the thing is, so marijuana is what's considered recreational cannabis. So that's what has to be legalized on a state-by-state basis.
Got it.
So Minnesota just legalized that. So now all this product you've been seeing in stores, and even our products, like any cannabis products that you can buy online or buy in stores right now in Minnesota, are hemp-derived.
Okay.
So it's because it's federally legal.
Yep.
It was actually made federally legal by Trump
Okay.
during his first term, the Farm Bill. So that's why, like hemp, it's kind of, it's confusing and it's kind of crazy because you can sell this online, right? And it's THC and it's the same, right? There's limits on it, just like in rec. But for us, like the differentiation comes like now that recreational cannabis is legal in Minnesota, there will be dispensaries. There already are dispensaries out there, right? And nobody even knows what's going on, but the dispensaries that are out there now are selling all products that are hemp derived.
Okay.
Because on the recreational side, everything has to be done in state and everything has to go through all these regulations and tests and you have to get licenses, and the licenses are all really compartmentalized and like broken up, so you can't like do it all. Some like big companies can, but there's licenses for like growing and licenses for manufacturing, and white labeling and wholesaling and things like that. So that's why it takes a while to get going.
And where does your brand fall in? Like, are you white labeling? Are you?
We do white label.
Growing,
So
okay.
we're a wholesaler, which is what we've always been and what we will continue to be. We also got a delivery license and a transport license, which kind of just lets us take our own product to stores.
Yep.
The transport license does, or for other companies who need that service. And the delivery license will allow us to start an actual delivery company for stores that want to deliver their products, or if we want to deliver our own products. I think the law is murky and confusing, and I'm not a lawyer. I have an amazing lawyer, and she helps us through it all.
Yeah.
But it's confusing and it's a lot. But yes, we will stay Moonlight. In my mind, the goal would be, we've got this great brand and business already. We're known in Minnesota. We've got a great community. We're going to add rec products to that community and be our hemp business will still be online, and it's our e-commerce business.
Yeah.
It's functional, it's wellness. But then when people go to the dispensaries to get recreational products and maybe stronger, marijuana type cannabis, we're going to be there too.
Okay.
Right. So it kind of gives us like a two-armed approach to the industry.
Very helpful. So we don't say weed anymore. Like that's.
I mean, weed's just like a slang version of it. Like the legal terms are the plant. The scientific term is cannabis is the plant, and then the U.S. government, designated hemp and designated marijuana, just based on like how strong the plant is, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
So why did you decide, and you're in this with your husband?
I am. My husband Carter and I started it together. Why we got into it? Well, Carter's been a user forever, since high school. He struggles with like ADHD and attention stuff, so cannabis has always been for him. Yes, don't we all? For him, it's always been relief, right? And like helping him get through the day, and of course, enjoyment. Whatever. But we lived together in Denver for 10 years after college. I went to the U of M, and he went to Dunwoody, and that's where and how we met. But right after college, we moved to Denver, lived there for 10 years. And while we lived there, recreational cannabis went legal there. So it became part of our like everyday lives. It was already part of Carter's life, but I started using it a lot more. But we were using it, to party and get high and have fun, or like go to the movies, or like have a girls' night in and have a gummy, or smoke a little bong rip. I don't know. It was for fun. Yeah, for sure. Then we grew up and got married and started having kids, and we moved back to Minnesota. Okay. And that was in 2016, so 9 years ago. Wow. And when we moved here, of course, recreational cannabis was not legalized yet. But shortly after we lived here, we started seeing stores, like tobacco stores or other shops, like with pot leaf lights on the outside. And it's when Delta 9 kind of came about, the hemp derived. Because people were starting to figure it out, right? Like, oh, now that hemp is federally legal, we can extract the THC from it and get high from that, right? Like, that's why people got into it. And we started coming across that in stores and trying it. And the reason we were looking for it is because it was a time when I have two boys. My son Harvey is 9 and my son Fletcher is 7. At the time when Fletcher was 3, he was diagnosed with autism. Okay. And it was a lot. It was super hard. Anyone who has a child who suffers with neurodiversity and things like that knows the struggle, but you go through like the grief of what it means, the stress of figuring out in schools, like now all of a sudden you're an advocate, right, for this thing you know nothing about. It was a lot. And he was a lot. I mean, all 3-year-old boys are a lot, but one on the spectrum is a lot more to deal with, and I legit couldn't deal. So I needed something to kind of help with the stress, help with my patience, and I've always loved wine. I'm a wine drinker. I still do drink, not as much. But I couldn't be like having wine all day, right? I needed something to take the edge off, but still allow me to parent and like do my job and like not want to rip my hair out from the hours of 5 to 7 p.m. when it's time for dinner and basketball and sports and all the things. So all this is happening at the same time. We're experimenting with the Delta 9 and the hemp-derived stuff, and we loved it. And I really loved that it was milder and that I could take it and still be a present, like committed parent. I mean, a better one, essentially. I had more patience. I am more willing to like lay on the ground and play with them. And I mean, they're older now, so they don't always want to do that. But it just made me a more present, happier, more grounded mom. And I was like, this is amazing. I love it. But at the time, I was like, I don't feel comfortable shopping in the stores. And there were no brands that really spoke to me. Right? Yeah. And at the time, they were in mainly smoke shops, right? Like now there's a bunch of dispensaries and like places you can get them. But at the time, there weren't. And I did not enjoy the experience. And at the same time, I was just so passionate about it and honestly kind of was like, we can do this, like, but we can do it better. Yeah. Carter and myself have always been a little bit entrepreneurial. So we just... And he's kind of always wanted to just do something that's for him. So we just kind of went for it. And we're like, let's create a brand. We'll work with a lab. We found a lab in Oregon.
Okay.
Who we, like, through some sort of the journey, I don't even remember, we had tried one of their gummies somewhere, and we were like, this is good. It was actually a gummy that doesn't even get you high. It's like an energy daytime one, a non-psychoactive one. And I'm like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Right? And our whole approach was, we're going to start this cannabis company. In my heart, it was like, moms need to know.
Yeah.
And they need a brand that speaks to them, that makes them feel comfortable, that's approachable, and so that they can get education and, you know, comfortability, especially like for people who are new to it, because it's intimidating and it's intense, you know? So I'm trying to think where we were.
You found the lab.
Yes,
in Oregon.
partnered with the lab. And originally we were getting into the business with hemp-derived vapes as well. That was kind of like our big ticket item. And then Minnesota, right after we had made the investment and bought all the vapes and had them packaged and branded and beautiful, they made them illegal. Like, there are no legal vapes in Minnesota right now with THC. So we had to pivot. We were always going to do gummies as well, but we had to pivot and really like make those the priority. And that's what we did. And we wanted to have a range of gummies, right? And the mission is that this is functional cannabis, meaning every product is designed to do something specific with specific effects. And all of our products are always going to do more than get you high, right?
Okay.
Like, our tagline is go beyond getting high, right? If that's what you want, is to get high and giggle and have fun, we've got that too. But we're going to have other cannabinoids and things in there that are going to be good for your body. For example, our I think I have one here. Our like standard, like, this was like our first gummy, Half Moon. Here, you can look at that if you want. Has 5 milligrams of THC and 10 milligrams of CBD.
Okay.
And that's because CBD offsets the THC. So sometimes people get a little anxious about it, you know, making them paranoid or have anxiety or that like kind of worrying feeling you get when you've taken an edible, and CBD offsets that. So it's just a little bit like you're in a good mood from the THC, but you're also very relaxed.
Does it make you sleepy? Because some people say that anything that has CBD in it makes them sleepy.
It can. It's definitely, it doesn't make me like sleepy, but it just makes me relaxed. And then when I go to bed that night, I sleep better.
Yeah, I do too. I sleep better last night I had a THC seltzer and I slept like a dream. I want to back up to something that you were saying about, as a parent, it made you a better parent. I think there is such a stigma, and I can just imagine somebody hearing this and going, oh, well, if you have to have drugs in your system to be a good parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, that those people are out there. I don't think of it any differently than if you were to take an anti-anxiety medication.
Exactly.
To relax you and to lift your spirits, and you know what I mean? Like, I think that is something that needs just to be emphasized, is like, we're talking low dose here, microdosing.
Yes.
Or whatever, a lower dose. You're not walking around stoned all day as a mom.
No.
You can drive, you are present, you are whatever, but you're just a little bit more relaxed, less edge, and in a better mood, right?
Right.
It's summer, which means I've basically become a full-time chauffeur, driving the kids to camps, practices, their weekly Starbucks runs, and hangouts with friends. At this point, I practically live in my car. Thankfully, my Lincoln Aviator makes it all a little more enjoyable. The massage chairs are working overtime to keep my back in check on the long days, and on those hot days, the Lincoln app lets me start the car remotely so the AC is blasting when we get in. Let's also mention the cooling seats, which are a lifesaver so I don't burn my legs on the black leather. Honestly, though, the best part was buying from Apple Autos. The process was easy, stress-free, and fair from the trade-in to the final paperwork. They're a family-owned business that gives back in big ways, from building homes with Habitat for Humanity to funding scholarships for students headed to trade schools and universities. You can follow them on Instagram at AppleAutosMN to see all the ways they support the community. And if you're shopping for a new vehicle, visit one of their 7 Twin Cities locations and tell them A Common Thread sent you. I started hormone replacement therapy in February, and in just a few short months, I finally feel like myself again. My team at Harmony Wellness has truly changed my life. When I first went in, I had a laundry list of symptoms and felt completely defeated after years of searching for answers with no real solutions. But Andrea and Ivy saw me, like really saw me, and their entire practice is dedicated to helping women optimize their health. They're constantly learning, staying ahead of the latest research, and I swear I have them on speed dial with all my questions. I've never once felt rushed or like a burden. They treat me like a partner in my care, not just another appointment. If you've been feeling stuck, I can't recommend Harmony Wellness enough. Book a free consultation and tell them A Common Thread sent you. You don't have to suffer in silence. They're here to help you feel whole again. If you've been to an event in Minneapolis recently, chances are your photo was taken by Profeshi. They've become the go-to photography studio in town. Whether it's headshots at their North Loop studio or capturing a night out with friends at a local event, they always deliver the best shots with the brightest, most memorable backdrops. And let's talk about their turnaround time. You'll get a link to the full event gallery within a few days, and if you book a personal session, you'll actually choose your favorite images to purchase before you even leave the studio. After working with photographers Nick and Taya so many times, they've truly become friends. They have a way of making you feel totally at ease, even if you're not used to being the star of your own show. If you've been putting off updating your headshots, let this be your sign to do it. And if you're stressing about what to wear, I've got you. I'm available as an add-on to your session. Planning your next event? Also think of Profeshi. Head to Profeshi.com to book your shoot today and tell them A Common Thread sent you.
So do you get a lot of comments like that on your Instagram or from random people, or do you feel like you have a community that gets it?
It's yes and no. I mean, I know those comments are happening.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that they're happening to my face. They really haven't. But at the end of the day, like, we're all just trying to survive and like get through the day, right? And like you said, do we also all take antidepressants and Xanax and Zoloft and all the things that we need to take to like support our mental health and our wellness? This is no different. In fact, it's arguably better for you, right? Because it's natural and it's from the earth. It's just the stigma that comes with it, right?
And what's so funny is, like, you know, the mommy wine club or culture is, you know, I've seen so many influencers that have, you know, near 1 million followers, and they'll have their tumbler and they'll pour the bottle of wine in it as they're going to their kid's soccer game or whatever. And I go straight to the comment section. I just want to see, like, who's
saying what.
Yeah, just for giggles. And they usually do get roasted in a lot of cases, and others not. But it's like, but then it feels so different if someone openly talks about that they prefer cannabis or whatever. It's, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so interesting to me.
And it doesn't happen a lot yet still. I remember we're big football people, and I remember when this quarterback, Matthew Stafford, I think he's a quarterback for the Lions, his wife came out and said, like, gummies make me a better mom. And I was like, thank goodness, like, someone's finally saying it and we can talk about it. And honestly, like, my personality, I'm an Aries, I just, like, don't care what people think because it helped me and it made me feel better. And, like, now we're making other people feel better. And, like, I think if people who are so against it or think it's bad or, like, think we're doing something wrong, that's fine. They can think what they want.
And they also probably just don't know enough.
They don't know enough.
They think of, like, the stoner kid from high school that showed up to class with the hood on and slept in the back of the room. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what people probably think of.
It's definitely part of it.
And it's like, that's not all that it is. And that's not how probably most people are even using it anymore.
Right. Well, and this whole, that's why I keep saying functional cannabis, right? It's because you can kind of pick your journey based on, like, the cannabinoids and the things we add to it, right? So that you can have something that you take during the day to help you through things and give you energy. And we have a gummy for that called Orbit, and it has a cannabinoid called THCV, not THC, THCV. It's not psychoactive, you don't get high, but it does things like give you energy, motivate you, boost your metabolism, make you not hungry.
Even with that packet.
I know, that's the best one, right? And then we have one for sleep, right? And we've heard feedback from people who are going through chemotherapy, right? Or like dealing with intense pain, and our sleep gummies being the only thing to help them get through the night with a good night's sleep. And for me, that's like what makes it all worth it and helps drown out that noise of the pushback. But it's also important, right, for us to be aware of that, because half of our mission our mission is to provide these functional options, right? Mainly for women, but men enjoy our gummies too, right? Like everyone's got a different tolerance level, and there's plenty of room in the low dose market for men. They like it too. But providing the functionality within cannabis and giving people options that have the effects clearly displayed on the bag, that's like our business goal. But we've learned along the way that education is just as important.
Yeah.
Right? Our bodies have an endocannabinoid system in them, every human body, which blew my mind when I found it out, right? That like we have receptors in our body that are meant to take in this plant that send signals, like the same, like a signal in your body when it's like, I'm hungry, time to eat, right?
Yep.
Sometimes these signals need a little help or like amping up, and that's what cannabis does. And it's crazy. And like I won't go too deep into the science because I'm not smart enough to talk about it, but people don't know that. And that's important. Or even when you just asked about like, what does hemp mean? There's so many words, and now there's all these new cannabinoids. Like she just said CBG, CBN. What do they all do?
And CBG is the one that's for inflammation, right? Is that?
It does help with that. Yes, CBG. It's actually what we just took in the moonshot. Okay. It's more of an uplifting one, like energetic, daytime.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that's very important to notice. Every single human body is different, and everybody takes it in differently. Some people, like my husband, for instance, can take like 30, 40 milligrams and barely feel anything. I cap out at 5 because my tolerance is low. It's part of that, right? But some people won't feel it at all ever. Like could take a bunch and be like, I just didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Or some people feel it, like me, like a lightweight.
Yeah.
But that's why the other important thing is dosing, which is what we teach about, right? It's like start small, start with half, wait 2 hours, don't wait 20 minutes, right?
Okay.
Like give it time to really sink in and track what you're feeling and your symptoms, write it down, pay attention, and then like adjust the next night.
Yeah.
Right. And just pay attention. And eventually it doesn't take long. It takes like one night.
Yeah.
If you do it the way we recommend, it starts small. Hopefully the only thing you'll feel if you start small is nothing. Right. So then you increase the next time.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse when you like
it's horrible.
Accidentally get too high and you're not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation before where you're suddenly paranoid, or you're at a situation where you're like, I don't want to be this high right now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
So
I've been in that situation too.
That is, haven't we all? That is a good suggestion. Though. I think I just naturally build a high tolerance for medication, for alcohol, for cannabis. Like I just do. I remember when I was on Adderall, I was maxed out. Like they couldn't prescribe me any higher than the dosage because I just metabolize it quickly. I think. So I can do, like I said, about 10 is right for me, depending on the situation. I like a 5 just on like a casual night, but
I mean,
if I want to feel it, it's 10 for me.
Right, and that's everybody's got to figure that out.
Sometimes on Friday night I'll go back for a second 10.
Yeah, girl, get it.
But that's like my husband and I are home. We're just like binge watching a series and
you deserve it,
melting into the couch.
And why not?
Yeah. And then I don't feel bad the next day. That's the thing. So
that's the other thing.
When I was on this whole health journey, which if you've listened to the pod, I work it in about every conversation because it's just a part of my story. But I gave up alcohol. So I was on this really restrictive diet for 6 months. I couldn't eat hardly anything. And in that, I really cut back on what I was drinking for alcohol as well. I kind of stuck to like vodka soda. But even then, I thought because it said soda that it would just be like water but bubbly. But a lot of the like sodas and tonics and stuff have like ingredients in it that aren't good for you. What is it?
Like fake stuff.
Yeah. So anyway,
I can never pronounce them.
Oh my gosh, I know. Quinine or something. Maybe that's the tonic. That was the tonic, I think. I think soda's fine. But the tonic was, because I was doing gin and tonic. Anyway, so I even had to read labels about that. And then I didn't lose, after 6 months of this, I lost 0 pounds. Not even a half of a pound. And so then I was like, well, maybe I should just try to give up alcohol entirely. And I was not a big drinker at this point. It's like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday type. Occasionally I'd have a glass of wine at night. I was like, maybe I'll give it up. And so I gave it up it started as like, I'll do dry January, whatever. And then I was like, I'll keep going. And I did 100 days and
wow, that's good.
Lost, I think like 7 pounds. So at least like the scale was moving. But But I'm like, I'm not sober in this 100 days. I just leaned into the THC more.
Yeah.
And realized that, I actually like this better. Because, sometimes when you have too much alcohol, you can go dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have learned in college that, like, if something is on my mind and I have not spoken it, 'cause I'm a verbal processor, and I have too much vodka, it will come out. And it usually comes out in the wrong way or with more anger than I intended to. So I feel like the worst case if I get too high is I just want to go to sleep.
Right. Or you laugh too hard.
Or I laugh too hard and pee my pants.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Or you get the munchies, which is not always desired, but we work really hard to make sure that's like, because you can figure out which strains of cannabis make you hungry.
Yeah.
And not use those, right?
Yes.
For what you're creating. But
okay, that's interesting because I would say, like, during COVID, this was before you could buy them in stores.
Yeah.
And so I had a guy who had a guy who had a guy who was like making them, and they're inconsistent. Like, you don't know what each batch was different, right? So like I could have a full one batch, and then the next time I'm like, nope, way too much.
Yeah.
But I started, I'm a snacker. I've always been a snacker. I get it from my dad. We love to graze. But if I'm going to snack, like, I'm going to snack.
Yeah.
So I, like, make things. Like, I go into my, like, pantry and, like, figure out, like, what concoctions I can. I'm not just, like, a bag of chips. Like,
okay. I like it.
Yes. Like, I came up with
snack hard.
I snack hard, and I snack with intention. Like, if I'm going to eat it,
it better be good.
It's going to be gourmet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm figuring
gourmet snacks. Give me an example. What's a gourmet snack?
Okay, so this was my one snack that I, like, mastered throughout the course of the whole summer. Like, I kept adding things to it. So I would take a cracker, and I like the almond flour, like gluten-free ones.
Yep.
So I take a cracker. Then I would put a smear of cream cheese.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I would do, like, just plain, or I would do, like, a jalapeno cream cheese, depending on your spice level.
Yeah.
Then I would do a slice of cheese. You know, like the little party pack, variety pack?
Yeah. Yep.
So, again, choose your own adventure in there.
Yeah.
Then Trader Joe's has these sweet and spicy jalapenos.
Okay.
That are my favorite. Like, I stockpile them. They're so good. And it's not like a hot spicy. It's got a really good, the sweetness to it.
Like pickled in a jar.
Yes, like a pickled in a jar.
Yep.
Yep. So then I would put that on. Then here's where I really topped it off. I would cut a grape in half, and I would put half of a grape on top because it was something of that bite. It was like the perfect bite every time.
The perfect bite.
Because the cream cheese held it all together. There was a little bit of the sweet and spice. You got the cheese and the crunch of the cracker, and then the sweetness of the grape.
Oh, yeah. That sounds so good.
So anyway, that was just one example. Also, nachos, like the kind of nacho concoctions I would come up to were pretty good. But I was like, I'm going to make a cookbook for people with munchies.
I love it. I mean,
has to be like a PDF downloadable. Like, no one's going to the bookstore for this. Like,
right.
That's not the target audience. That's not where they're shopping for this.
Right. But let's snack on something.
That's
anyway, real food.
I definitely gained weight during the pandemic, and my husband took up running, so his habit was a bit
why do they
healthy.
do that?
You know,
just stop. Don't overachieve when the rest of us are struggling.
I remember we were sitting, and I would just get so uncomfortable about it because also men can lose weight so much faster than women.
It's crazy.
And I was like, okay, you look like the guy from the movie Milk. Like, who was like dying of AIDS, like he is, because my husband got very skinny.
It's too skinny.
I thought so.
Okay.
And I look like, what's eating Gilbert Grape's mom.
No, you didn't.
But that's how I felt in comparison.
Of course.
Anyway, I scaled back on the snacking, but I have noticed that now, like a lot of the seltzers that I drink and stuff, I don't get the munchies from them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that
they figured it out.
Yeah.
Right, there's ways. Yeah, for sure.
Also, like I have some friends who are like, I can't do edibles, it gives me anxiety. But you're saying that some of your product offsets some of that, right?
We add CBD to directly correlate that, right? Because before this, myself as a cannabis user, I've always been more of a flower person. I like to smoke weed. I like to vaporize it now, which is better for your lungs, or like use the vape.
Why is that better for your lungs?
Well,
because I thought vapes are not good.
No, not like a vape with oil.
Okay.
It's actually, I use like a device called a PAX, and it's like it heats up flour. Okay. So you put it's like you packed a bowl, just not in a pipe.
Okay.
Right? Because the pipe gets like res, and you light it with fire, and it turns into like scientifically, I don't always know what I'm saying, but when you
sound
smoke
like
out of
you
a
do.
glass pipe and the res, it's like the black gunk going in.
Okay.
And I don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like how it tastes. And then when I discovered this PAX, it's like a little device, and you pack a little bowl in the bottom and put the lid on, and then you turn it on, and it just heats it up with a battery.
Oh.
So then it's like
So it's not
vapor.
oil. It's not
No,
oil.
it's
Okay.
actual flour that you just heat instead of burning. And something
it.
about the difference between heating with a battery and burning makes it more like I'm not going to cough after I use it, right? And
Okay,
a
which
very
we talked about
smooth
this at
hit.
lunch. I was like,
We
you
did.
need to, we'll do a follow up or I'll do a reel or something. But like, you need to show me. I feel like every time I smoke, I cough. And then if I cough, I pee.
Same.
Our bathroom in our master has a window right behind the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I have literally sat on my toilet and smoked a J. So it's blowing it out the window. But if I cough and pee, I'm just already on the
You're
toilet.
prepared. You're a modern woman.
Talk about a life hack.
You know what you're doing.
I am a modern woman.
You really are. No, I get it. I can't even do a jumping jack without a little piddle
Yeah.
all the time. So,
But you don't cough from this.
no, I do. I mean, I cough when I... Now, listen, I prefer to vaporize the flower, but sometimes I will smoke, a bowl with Carter or out of a bong, or because he prefers to go old school like
Yeah.
that. And it honestly just like depends on how big of a hit you take.
Yeah. But you found on the vape, this pack vape, that it doesn't make you cough.
It's just a
I'm gonna try that.
gentler experience for flower, right? Because I am, to be honest, like I never liked gummies before we launched this gummy company because of that experience you mentioned.
Yeah.
I had a bad experience.
Yeah.
Where I was like, being like, call the ambulance.
Yeah.
Because it's a horrible feeling. That's part of the reason why we did this, right? Is like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
When you take an edible, it can be very controlled and like,
Yeah.
pick your path, pick your effect, and make
So
it
that's
what
why you
want.
like smoking, because you feel it immediately, and then you know if you need more or if you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, I'm very controlling and like zero patience. So if I'm like in the mood to get high, I want it now. I
Yeah.
don't have to wait for it, right? So I had to kind of take a different viewpoint, right? Because these are for, they're going to make me feel good, and I'm going to get high from these gummies, right? Some of them you'll get pretty high.
Like which ones?
Like this. This is our brand new one, Interstellar.
I love your names, by the way.
Thank you. We know how to stick to a brand.
Yes.
Interstellar is 10 milligrams of THC live rosin.
Okay.
So-
what does that mean?
So we also have one that's live resin, not to be confused. I don't know who was in charge of naming.
Okay.
When they came to the way they
Because I was just
extract
about to
it.
say I've been calling it live resin because I have some edibles that I got when I was in California, and I really liked them. They had live resin in it.
Yes.
So what does that mean, and what's the difference between?
So resin and rosin are two different things.
Okay.
The difference in what they're named is by how they get it.
Okay.
So when a cannabis plant is ready for harvesting, instead of harvesting it and like taking off the buds, they'll flash freeze it. And then while it's frozen, they like squeeze it and extract the juices. I know. It's
the shot that I took is starting to hit, and as I'm watching her tell this story with her hands, I'm very interested.
You like it. You're feeling good though, right? You feel
no,
happy.
I'm
Look at
feeling a
that
little giggly.
smile.
I like it.
She's our walking, talking advertisement right now. So they squeeze it. We launched our resin one for Space Cadet.
Yeah.
But the way in which they squeeze it and how they do it is a little different.
Okay.
So with rosin, which is the one we just launched, that process is all completely natural and nothing is altered. Now, nothing's added to Space Cadet. I don't want it to be confused,
Yeah.
but the methods they use to extract are different than
Okay.
with rosin. Like they're forcing it more
Yep.
with resin and like rushing it along. But because they can do that, they can really tailor it, like with what terpenes they want to take and flavor. And if we don't know what terpenes are, I can circle back to
Yeah.
that. They can be really selective and picky and be like a scientist in there when they're extracting it and what they're extracting and how, because of the process they use. Whereas rosin is just much more natural. They just let it happen naturally. They still
Okay.
use the same flash freezing process and squeezing. Squeezing is not the technical term, but
Yep.
that's how I
Yep.
envision it. And so for rosin, that's going to be like a very true to plant experience. Even the gummy itself tastes like weed candy, right?
Okay.
Like you can taste it more because it's just a very true to plant gummy. And so the effects from it are also going to feel more similar to what it feels like when you smoke
Okay.
weed, but without having to smoke it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a different way to get the THC because it's the type of THC that you're extracting out.
Now, what about the difference between like indica and sativa? Like, I know whenever I go to a dispensary when I'm traveling, first stop always
the dispensary.
Can't wait for them to go to Minnesota. I usually look for a sativa because I like to be. I'm just a bubbly person.
Yeah.
I don't want to melt into the couch and feel like I can't move.
Right.
Which is more of the indica, right?
Right.
So is that, again, like just the part that they extract from the plant? Like what's...
The indica sativa thing is much more... It comes much more into play with actual flower.
Okay.
Right? Because they're able to, like, that goes down to, like, the type of seeds they use to grow it and, like, which strain of the plant it is. So there's so many different strains. I'm not even going to pretend to know that I know how many. And some of those strains make your body really relaxed and melt into the couch. Those are the indicas, right? And then some make you feel energetic and energized and motivated, and those are the sativas, right? So they've just found, like, when strains, they've just categorized them.
Okay.
Right? So, but yes, it's pretty common and pretty easy to figure out that the sativa is more like fun, happy, upbeat, uplifted high, which some people like and want, right?
Yeah.
Whereas some people want to really melt and not feel that way. Right?
Now, when in your product, are you differentiating by any of that, or is that not really come into play here?
You can kind of. Sometimes we tell people that some of these might feel more like a Space Cadet, might feel more like a sativa, and a Half Moon, because it has the CBD and the relaxing part, can feel more like a hybrid. Or an indica. Not really, though. But it doesn't come into play as much with the gummies because of the way they extract the product and mix it together. There's so much crossover. Basically, like, everything's a hybrid when it comes to making gummies and edibles. You can do it a little, but it's not something you can fully rely on, so that's not what we did, right? It was more like formulating the gummy recipe to make sure that we have the right cannabinoids in there. We're always adding new ones and learning about new ones so we can really tailor the experience. Because
there was another one you said that I hadn't heard. Was it CBN?
CBN.
What is that?
CBN is technically it's what happens to cannabis when it's, like, dead, which is interesting. It's after the plant has been...
It's like dried up.
Yeah, in a sense. What's important to know about it is that it has sedative-like properties. So it helps you sleep. It's non-psychoactive.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, back in the day, someone told me this once and it blew my mind. When people would always make, like, pot brownies. Yeah. And everybody would get super high and, like, super tired. They were cooking the weed, right? Yeah. So then that weed became CBN. CBN is like the weed when it's gone through its life and it's dead now, right? So that's why people would eat these brownies and everyone was like, no one ever ate a brownie and was like, woo, ready to party, right? Because of the way they were doing it. So we do have a sleep gummy. I don't have it with me today because we're sold out because it's so popular.
Okay. Put me on the wait list for that.
Yes, it's called Goodnight Moon. And it has CBN. And CBN's non-psychoactive.
Goodnight Moon. That's cute.
Thanks.
Let's go back to that. Pause on that for a minute.
Thanks. It's super cute.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, my 96-year-old grandma who has never slept in her life, like, she always says, like, I mean, she sleeps, but she just doesn't really sleep.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to just, like, slip. She loves a chocolate martini. But I always have just wanted to, like, slip her some...
A little drip in there.
Something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, grandma's 96. Everything hurts.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like... But I know that my grandpa it would probably make him incredibly nervous. So the sleep ones, though, because they don't have... What did you say?
They do have THC.
Okay.
But they only have 5 milligrams of THC, so it's the low dose serving. Yeah. But it's about when you combine THC. So our sleep gummy has the 5 THC, 10 CBD, just like Half Moon, right, to offset the scary feelings or the paranoia that might come. But then also 15 milligrams of CBN. So that's what's in there the heaviest.
So she's not going to feel high. She's just going to feel tired.
No. And it's about the combo. Like when you mix THC, like some people can, again, everybody is different. Some people just take THC before bed to make them sleep. But like that would make me high and like not fall asleep. But adding the CBD for relaxation and the CBN for sedativeness, it's just like the combo makes you fall asleep fast and stay asleep.
So and then do you feel groggy at all the next day?
No, I don't. That's actually not something we've really actively heard from people about this either.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's still low dose.
Yeah.
It's just very... You'll see certain products that have like hundreds of milligrams of CBD and CBN, and you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with those, right? But we're about just enough in there to get the job done.
Well, and I've heard like people who take melatonin, for example, consistently.
Yeah.
It actually can like have the reverse effect over time, right? Because you build up too much melatonin in your body or something.
Yeah.
So if someone this is probably a good thing for someone to try who is used to taking melatonin all the time at night.
For sure. And our sleep product is 100% for people who struggle to fall and stay asleep.
Yeah.
So I actually like don't even really take it. I'm a good sleeper.
Yeah.
And like half moon is enough
you.
for me. Yeah, not to brag. And don't worry, I can tell you about my 99 other issues and problems. You've heard about some of them already. But yeah, so for me it would be like it knocks me out into a point where I'm like, I don't need that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's too much for me.
Yeah.
But for people, when we formulated these, we tested them, right? Like on my mother-in-law or my sister-in-law or like other, like I mentioned before, we have a good family friend whose dad is suffering with cancer and having horrible chemo. And he was the one that told us like these goodnight moons are the only things that make me feel better and make me sleep, right? Because the CBD helps with pain too, right? And inflammation, just like CBG. It gets confusing. There's lots of acronyms, but it's good to know, and it's new.
Good to know. It's good to know that, like you said, there's the functional side of it.
Yeah.
It has so many benefits, and I think that people are uneducated, and so therefore that causes some fear, right? Like I've been standing, and it can be because now it is becoming a bit more mainstream. There was, to your point about the THC seltzers, talk about decision paralysis. Like I remember being at Haskell's and standing there, and there all of a sudden it went from like I knew of like one, maybe two seltzers brands to like looking at this whole row. I'm like, I don't know what is what. This old man came up to me and he was staring at the aisles too, and finally he looks at me and goes, can you help me? I'm like, sure. And he goes, I'm having a party and I kind of want to try some of these, but like I don't know what to get. And I'm like, oh my God, Grandpa, can I come? It was like so sweet. But it's a
cool grandpa getting
I know, right? I was like, I want to come to your party. But it can be very overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that like if you know what to get and you hear it from somebody who's tried it and likes it, and here's why. Anytime I post on my Instagram like a can of something that I'm drinking or a package of something, I get so many questions of like, okay, I've been wanting, and I'm talking like my audience is like 20-some-year-olds to 60-year-olds. And so it's often sometimes even this older group that is like, tell me more. I've been wanting to try it. I don't know. Or some people that are giving up alcohol but like still want a little bit of a head change.
Yeah.
I mix still some. Like I like to have, especially if I'm going to an event where I have to be on.
Yeah.
Like I'm an extrovert and then I get my energy from people, but it's my kind of people.
Yeah.
And if they're not my kind of people, I can very quickly find myself feeling drained. So sometimes if I'm going into an event where I have to be really social, I'll have a little nibble on the way.
It takes the edge off a little bit, right? But that's why people like you are important, right? Because you went through your own personal health journeys and found your way to this and found that it helped you, right? And so now the people who follow you and trust you can take your recommendation and learn, right?
Yeah.
It's like people like you are important for this industry, right? So we can kind of spread the word, and like it doesn't have to be like the Bob Marley experience that you're picturing where you're going to be on the floor and calling 911 because you took too much and you hate how you feel.
Right.
No, it's to make you feel good.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the big thing about that, like with the decision paralysis too, is something I felt before we started when I would go into those stores and some of the products would be named, I don't know, right? Like Bubba Kush Alien Jockey, right? And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what's it going to make me feel? What's it going to do to me? I have no idea. So that was like number one for me, is I was like, we need to like dial this in that we can write the effects on here, right? So like for Half Moon.
Your packaging is really beautiful too.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Vibey Chill. That's what you feel. Yes. The best way we could describe it when we were like going through all the research was like, it feels like a warm hug.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh.
So how can we like put that on there in words so people know what they're getting into, right? And Space Cadet is happy, floaty fun. right? So this is more of like you're going out.
Yeah.
You have a girls' night. My girlfriends and I just went and saw Betty Who earlier this summer, who's like my favorite singer downtown, and we all had one of these, and we just had the best time ever.
Oh, concerts, edibles at concerts.
So good.
So good. That is
good.
My husband and I have found that like our favorite thing to do together is to go see live music.
Yeah.
My husband is very reserved. I'm usually like the loud one at the party. I shouldn't say it. Yeah, he's a little more reserved. He's very inquisitive and social.
Yep.
But I am like loud, hooting and hollering, holding court, telling stories.
Yes.
Rounding people up, taking shots, all the things. And so when we go to a concert together, what I found is like he comes alive. Like he is singing and dancing and arms in the air, and it's just like a different side of it. It's like he finally gets on my level.
Yes,
which I
yes,
love.
yes.
So we love to do that, but I love just like a little bit of a hot, not to the point where I'm stumbling around and I don't know where my seats are.
Right,
Like I
right.
love that, like you get like a permagrin on your
Yeah.
face. You just like can't stop smiling, and everything just feels a little bit crisper as you're looking around.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is so beautiful, and I'm here with this man I love. And
You're happier.
Yeah.
You're happier. It's like the secret's out, right?
Yeah.
Like this stuff makes you feel happier
Yes.
if you do it right.
Yes.
And if you buy my products.
Nature walks are great too.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people take it before they work out, I've heard. I haven't tried
Yes,
that.
a lot of people like moonshot actually before a workout because
Oh.
of that CBG is uplifting. Yeah, our energy gummy, the Orbit one I mentioned, is also great for pre-workout. It also has the THCV, like I mentioned before, and it has blue lotus flower, which is like an herb that also helps with like appetite suppressant and energy, and it has cordyceps, right, which is like the mushroom space is like becoming huge too, and we're really diving into there. So cordyceps, like again, on their own, each might not do this as much, but the combination of the three makes you clear-headed, energetic. Like I take an Orbit before I have to, like if I have a deadline for work, right? Because it doesn't get you high.
Yeah.
You don't feel that. All of a sudden, it's more like it's been 3 hours. I cleaned the whole house. I got my deadline done. I made a casserole. Like what else? And I haven't eaten, right?
Yeah.
Like because I didn't. It's not like it makes you feel full.
Sounds kind of like Adderall.
It is. It's like Adderall, but without that edge.
Yes.
So
because I stopped, like I very much should be medicated for my ADHD, but I've tried so many different medications, and I either end up maxing out.
Yeah.
And in that case, like I felt awful. I was such an irritable bitch on Adderall when I was at my highest.
Oh yeah, the edge.
The edge.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. And you just feel jittery. And I've tried some other ones, and sometimes like I'll be halfway through the day and I'll like regret that I took it because it makes my stomach feel a little like kind of sick. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
But
more
I need
subtle,
something because
right?
I'm
It's
a
like
procrastinator.
I mean, it's like getting the effects of it without the negative things, right?
Yeah.
It's without feeling it. Come on,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden it's working and you don't notice it's working.
Yeah.
which is kind of like that delicate line.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've been doing some things. I should probably take one this afternoon because we came back from Colorado on, what is today? Today's Tuesday. Okay, so we came back last Monday. I have not unpacked my suitcase. I've actually unpacked it 90%. The only things left in there are like a couple sunglass cases I got to carry downstairs. I think there's like an extra purse in there, maybe a couple toiletries, like a hairbrush or something. And I just couldn't bring myself to put those last few things away and zip it up and carry it downstairs. My husband got tired of it and just at least closed it because it was laying wide open. It's a big suitcase in the middle of our bedroom floor. So he's closed it. So now I'm like, oh, out of mind, out of sight.
Oh, it's done. It's gone.
And it's like little things like that.
Yeah.
That sometimes for me and the way that my brain works, I just look at it, I'm like, this feels like too much work.
I've done enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
The clothes are at least washed.
Yeah.
You know?
At least you unpacked a little. I'll leave that full suitcase there. I go through like a process, right? Like first it's just in the entryway. Like
Yeah.
we're all tripping over it for 3 days until I finally haul it upstairs.
Yeah.
And then like separate clean and dirty. Yeah. It's like those things that are just like unmanageable become a little bit more manageable, right? Or you just like are more productive.
Yeah.
Which I remember at like Christmas time being like, all right, I need a crescent moon. So crescent moon, which we haven't really talked about. Crescent moon is when we launched for like the newbies.
Okay.
We're scared and nervous. Your tolerance now, I've learned, will be much too high for this.
Okay, good to know.
Because it's just 2 milligrams
Yeah.
of THC and 4 of CBD. So still that ratio
Yeah.
of like this is a 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Just like Half moon is a 1 to 2, and then we also have one called full moon. You'll notice the branding here, the crescent, half, full. It's our moon cycle trio, and it's so you can figure out your dose and like what ratio of THC and CBD you like, right? Because like this one, half moon is heavy on the CBD, which I want because I'm taking these to relax at night. These are like the Netflix and chill, whereas crescent moon has just 2 milligrams of THC, which for someone like me is just enough for like a mood boost. And the CBD just kind of keeps you calm, so you're not like getting any of that anxiety or paranoia, even from the 2 milligrams. You're just calm. You're in a better mood. I would take these at Christmas time when I had to wrap gifts for 3 hours.
I actually love wrapping gifts. You can send them to my house.
Okay.
I do ribbons, like I tie bows.
I do
so
too.
I call it Bow Jobs by Seaman.
Oh my gosh, all the businesses. I love it too. I love like how it looks. Like it's like getting ready, right?
Yeah.
Like I love a gorgeous, like I'm never gonna not have a thematic tree, gifts, wrapping paper.
Yeah, it all has to
I'm
match.
good at doing it.
Yeah.
But it takes forever, and I like.
But it is more fun when you're.
It really is. It's the way to go.
I feel like my kids lately, and I know that they do it just to push my buttons sometimes, but they'll be like, you're just always in such a bad mood. You're so mean. You're in such a bad mood. And I'm like, I asked you to go, like, pick up the basement from the sleepover you had last night. Like, that's not a bad mood. But then I start, like, I asked my husband, I'm, like, doing a temperature check, like, am I in a bad mood a lot? And he's like, well, sometimes you just, like, walk around, like, with just, like, no expression. And I'm like, okay, so, like, this expectation that I need to have a smile on my face all the time is, like...
No.
Too much.
We're stressed. There's a lot
Don't
going
put
on
that
up
pressure
there.
on me. Yes, that's what it is. I have a resting thinking face.
Ooh, I like this.
Like when I'm styling a client, like I have this look on my face. I'm like, this is just me processing my own work. This is not me judging your body or you know, having any feelings about this fit yet. I'm just trying to like take it all in and process where I want to go next. But I do have this like resting thinking face.
Yeah.
And so I can see all day long, I'm constantly thinking about the things that I need to get done that I don't have the energy to. And then I start to like go into this dark space sometimes where it's like, you're just lazy. You keep putting this off. You're capable of so much more than you're doing. Then I have like kids constantly coming in and out of the house because it's summer and neighbors are over and this and that. And there's messes everywhere. And then it's like every day, we go to Starbucks. Can you take me to McDonald's for lunch? Can we go to Sky Zone? Can we... And so I think I do just feel like, ugh.
It sucks. It's
But, like,
a lot.
I know it is a lot, but then also like I don't think, like I am on antidepressants and I have in a long time. I don't feel depressed. I just feel, and also like everything that's happening politically right now is so heavy. I just feel the heaviness of everything.
Yeah.
The emotional labor of everything. And so I want to try this like kind of on a more consistent basis and just see, because my kids are 10 and 12. I'm like, I don't want them to grow up and be like, my mom was always sad moping around.
Well, I have 2 boys too. We've talked about it, and like hearing about you and your husband going to concerts is like, we're the same people. It's like freaking me out. But yeah, that's where that stigma comes in. Yeah. You know what? First of all, who has resting happy face? Or when they're thinking, right?
I know one person, and it gets very old after a while.
Yeah,
on a trip
get out of
like,
here.
You gotta calm.
Why are you smiling all the time? They just made it like a horror movie about that. No, but it's
what they call it, toxic positivity.
Yes. And I am a very positive person, but I'm also stressed all the time, right? Having children is just, it's insane. It's insane.
And we're taught like, you know, you can't yell and you gotta be patient. And it's like,
I'm always doing it wrong or forgetting something, or like I'm the mom who missed the email.
It requires so much mental capacity to stay patient in so many scenarios.
Yeah. It's a lot. And that's honestly like, that's like what warms my heart, is because that's who I did this for. Mm-hmm. Being a woman in today's society, being a mother, having boys, being an entrepreneur, like whatever you do, right? Working for a big Fortune 500 company, it's hard. Yeah. Being alive is hard. Yeah. Period. Even if you don't have kids or the other things or A, B, and C, it's hard. It's hard to be a woman. It's taxing. It's stressful. Yeah. And there needs to be something we can do. Yeah. To take the edge off.
I remember my kids were younger, and they were in that like, that 3 and 5 was so tough.
It's so hard.
And I would take a gummy, and it would kick at like bedtime, and they'd start having these epic meltdowns, and they would just say some things like they're trying to be mean. They say whatever they can think of, and it just is like, it actually makes you laugh. And I would start laughing, and then they're mad at me. They're like, "You're laughing at me," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." But I like can't stop laughing. My husband just gives me this look like, "Get out of here if you are like too high to be in this room." And I remember like laying in bed and cuddling them, and I was like, and I would just burst out again.
Oh gosh. Well, they'll remember that. Like, my mom was just always laughing when she put us to bed. So joyful.
Yeah, so joyful. But sometimes you're laughing at the wrong moment.
Of course, you don't want to
be. But I found the humor in the madness.
Yes.
It did, like, I would rather be giggling than sitting there also crying with them or also yelling with them.
Yeah, or like telling them to shut up because I've like cracked and broken and now I've just said something I regret.
Yeah.
And have been crabby.
Yeah.
No, it makes me a better mom using cannabis.
Let's talk about the mushrooms for a second. I know this isn't your business, but you mentioned shrooms or...
Yes. I mean, hit me. What do you want?
Well, I've been really into those lately, too, because I feel like they are more of an upper, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
So...
Are you talking like psilocybin, like psychedelic mushrooms, or like...
No, I haven't done those.
Okay.
Like a microdosing.
Yeah, okay.
But they still give you like a high.
Yeah. You feel enlightened or like elevated.
Yes.
Your body takes note.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I really love those for a social setting.
Yeah, they're great.
Is that something that you guys would get into, or are you going to stick in your lane of cannabis?
We have plans.
Oh,
they will. I've also been diving into mushrooms because
they're also functional too.
They are. They are.
Like lion's mane and all that.
Yep,
So
and cordyceps, which we already have in a product, and ashwagandha and all the things. It's very, again, like how they interact. And there's a lot of opportunity in the way like THC interacts with mushrooms when you do them together, which is kind of where we're exploring. But I would love to have a whole line of mushroom products one day that are just those ingredients, right? Maybe we mix some with cannabis, maybe we don't.
Yeah.
Because I've been turning to them as I go through hormonal stuff, which we've talked in depth about. I can talk about that for another hour, but I was getting to the point where I'm like an over-researcher, like a Googler. Like when something's wrong with my body or feels different, I take note immediately. I want to know why it happened. I want to know how to stop it. And I want to know all the ways I can to stop it and like what their side effects will be. Because I'm also like, I'm on antidepressants. I have been since I started having children. I have thyroid disease. I have hormonal issues. I have PCOS, right? So I'm like, let's look at these things. And mushrooms always come up.
Yeah.
They always come up as something to try. And so we've been really leaning into that. And I'm like, we're going to start coming out. We're actually like working on our menopause hormone perimenopausal gummy right now. Because again, the way Moonlight works is these products are for me. It's like what I go through. It's why we started it. And now I'm going through this.
But like that's how so many good ideas start. It's
exactly.
Like, there's a problem, and it's a woman who takes note and takes charge.
And it's that whole going back to that functional, like at night, I want a little gummy with a little THC so I can get a little high. But if it's also going to have ingredients that will offset like my inability to sleep, eat, cramps, mood for hormone, like it's a no-brainer to me. That's what I'm taking.
Yeah.
And if it makes me feel better the next day and like some of those menopausal symptoms are decreased, like that's happiness to me, right?
I love that. I can't wait to hear more about that as it comes out because, I've talked about my perimenopause all the time. And here's the thing. It's so interesting to me because I was a supplement junkie for a while. Like I was the target audience for any of the ads on Instagram, all the influencers slinging this. Because it seems like it's all this natural space, right? But then you find out like it's unregulated.
Yeah.
And so it actually sometimes is not the best option. I love that you're finding cannabis that we know and we trust and comes from the earth, but you're like can solve. And also with perimenopause, you have like a list of like 100 symptoms and there's usually not one medication that kind of helps with a lot of them. Right. Yeah. So if you can find something that knocks out sort of the core.
We're heavily regulated.
Yeah, right.
So it's like the testing and the COAs,
right,
it's all
so
there.
It's safer.
It's safer and it's more manageable because, I mean, supplements are another overwhelming industry, right? Why although I did start taking GABA because you told me to. I did, to help with the stress. I don't know if I so much notice, right? But like, It's only been a couple weeks too, but I can tell that like I'm not getting as angry about things or like annoyed with things that might have really annoyed me or overwhelmed me.
Yeah.
Because it's the brain transmitter, right? And like it's also like I'm trying to just get that stress belly.
Yeah.
Even
the cortisol
now.
levels are high.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Pharmagaba. It's a supplement. Thorne is the brand that I have used before, but I had a woman that recommended it to me because my cortisol levels were so high. And it helps me with sleep. I don't know when you take it. I would take 2 at night right before bed.
I take one right before bed. Yeah, with magnesium.
Yeah, maybe try 2.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea. Up it up.
Look at me. The doctor in me is
right. Try 2.
Take 2 and call me in the morning.
Yes. See how take note of your symptoms and side effects. Yeah, for sure.
But there are things. This is so fabulous.
Okay,
where can listeners find your product? Where can they buy from you?
So we have an online store, moonlightmn.com, and all these products are there. It's free shipping. If it's your first order, you get a little discount.
Okay.
So anything shipped right to your door. It's usually like next day, especially for local orders here in Minnesota. But we're also in, I think, around anywhere from 40 to 50 stores throughout the state and in other states. So if people like that experience of like going into a store, we're in a bunch of stores. And if you go on our website, you can figure out where to go to find us in real life.
Okay.
But of course, we always push the online sales because that's going direct to our pocket. But people can always reach out to me, like that contact us button on the website. We're in the process of redoing our website right now, so it's a little clunky. It's about to be super beautiful. But that contact button goes to me.
Okay.
So if people have questions or scared, I will respond. I'll get it right away and I will respond. Like I'm there for them. So that's where to find us, and lots of exciting things coming with Rec coming to town, and the products we're going to add, and the avenues we're going down, the new functionality we're exploring. It's really exciting.
Good.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that our paths crossed because I'm here for all of this. So continue to follow me because I will be sampling and sharing, and
I love it.
As you have these new products launched too, I'm sure.
And hopefully feeling better about certain things and seeing some joy and some giggles.
Gotta love it. Gotta bring back the giggles. We just need more laughter right now.
Much more.
Okay, last question that I ask everyone.
Okay.
What is one common thread that you believe connects us all as humans?
Well, the deep part of me wanted to be like, we're all humans and we die. And Carter, my husband's like, that's morbid. Don't say that. And now I just did. But to tie it back to what we've been talking about, we all have an endocannabinoid system in our bodies. Every single one of us, right? So like whether or not THC or cannabis is something for you or you'll use in your life, it's something that ties us together, meaning our bodies were meant to take it in, whether you take it in or not, right? And I think that that's a crazy fact. Yeah. And it's cool for people to know, and it relates to my business. So that's what I'm going to go with today.
Probably the only one that will answer that way, and I love that.
I like that too. Unique.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Come back again next Wednesday. Follow me on Instagram at Amy Seaman here. Follow Moonlight on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
Instagram is Moonlight Canna. You'll know
Canna.
Canna. You'll know it's us from the pink moon.
Yes, beautiful branding.
Thank you.
Okay, until next time, everyone.